તમે કેમ છો my public? સરસ યા બહુ સરસ. This is Raashii by your side to make your accounting concepts clear. Today we are going to be learning about provision. It is one of the most confused topics which makes most of the students confused. Most of the students interchange provision with liability, but actually they are not interchangeable. So here I am to make you all clear with your concepts. So let's get started. First of all, you must know that what is provision. Provision is basically probable obligation. So if it is probable obligation, then what's liability? Liability is present obligation. Provision basically means that in easier terms, if I say it is money kept aside for meeting specific purpose whose certainty of occurrence exists, but amount of existence of provision is uncertain, but can be reliably estimated. So what is provision? Provision is, in a simpler terms, money kept aside for meeting specific purpose, which has certainty of occurrence. The purpose has certainty of occurrence, but amount of the existence of that particular purpose is uncertain, but that amount can be reliably estimated, and so that is provision. Whereas liability, on the other hand, is a present obligation due to any past event, and amount of it is also certain. So you have got the basic understanding between what is liability and how it is different from provision. Liability, in simpler terms, if I say, is present obligation whose occurrence has taken place due to past event, and this liability has certain amount which is not estimated but reliably measured. So is not estimated but reliably measured. Okay, so I just wanted, this was not relevant as to what I wanted to tell you, but most of the people get confused कि मैम अगर प्रोविजन भी होता है कि पैसा पे करना है, लाइबिलिटी भी होती है पैसा पे करना है, अरे यार तो डिफरेंस है क्या? डिफरेंस सिर्फ इतना है, प्रोविजन इज प्रोबेबल ऑब्लिगेशन, मतलब ऐसा ऑब्लिगेशन जिसके चांसेस बहुत ज्यादा है, और लाइबिलिटी इज प्रेजेंट ऑब्लिगेशन, मतलब जिसके चांसेस सर्टन है, 100% है, होने वाला है. वेरएज प्रोविजन का बेसिकली मतलब है कि यार बहुत ज्यादा चांसेस है, पर होगा ये सर्टन नहीं है, होगा वो मैं नहीं बता सकती, पर चांसेस है बहुत ज्यादा. लाइबिलिटी में जो अमाउंट है वो हम स्पेसिफिकली मेजर कर सकते हैं, उसमें एस्टिमेशन का जरूरत नहीं है. वेरएज प्रोविजन में हम अमाउंट एस्टिमेट करते हैं क्योंकि अमाउंट जो एग्जिस्ट करता है इट्स अनसर्टेन, और लाइबिलिटी में ऑकरेंस सर्टन है और प्रोविजन में भी ऑकरेंस सर्टन है. सो यू गॉट द बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग, इट इज प्रेजेंट ऑब्लिगेशन. ठीक है, अभी now I want to tell you more about provision, because this topic where this video is made for you to make clear the concept of provision. So I've made you get the base of it. Now I'll explain further. So basically, money kept aside for specific purpose. Now ask me whether provision creation is mandatory or not. Yes, it is absolutely mandatory, because in one of our accounting principle we have learned about principle of conservatism, prudent concept, which means you have to be well prepared for your future. You have to take necessary steps in this year itself if you anticipate any loss. That means recording of any losses beforehand. So this is a prudence concept which says anticip- anticipated losses must be recorded in your books of accounts. So yes, it is absolutely mandatory. As and when you feel that provision of some probable obligation your company may occur, you have to, irrespective whether that obligation may take place or not, you have to record itself in the year you have estimated. So okay, so done. Provision is mandatory. Can provision be used for payment of dividend? No, provision cannot be used in payment of dividend. Abhi, now someone of you will ask, ma'am, is provision creation depends on profit? If like in reserves what we had, if at all only if we earn profit, then only we'll create reserve. But in provision, does the same concept applies? No, my child, it doesn't apply. Provision has to be created irrespective you earn profit or not. That means it does not depends on profit. That means what is it? It is a charge. It is mandatory. It is charge against profit. That doesn't means if no profit, no provision. It means if yes or no profit. I don't care. Yes or no, it means yes or no profit, always a provision. Okay. Second thing, now since it is a charge, it doesn't depend on profit creation. If profit may occur, then it's well and good. And even if profit doesn't occur, we don't care. That means it is not dependent on profit. That means it is calculated before we determine profit. So it is debited to P&L account. That means provisions are created by debiting P&L account. In reserves, if you remember in reserves, it was P&L appropriation account. But here in provision, we will have P&L account. Okay, so journal entry goes like this: P&L account debit to provision for XYZ, whatever the provision for XYZ, for whatsoever the purpose is. Okay, wait, provision for XYZ whatsoever the purpose is. Then now you'll ask, अरे मैम आपने इतना तो बता दिया कि प्रोविजन है क्या, वो मैंडेटरी है कि नहीं, वो पेमेंट ऑफ डिविडेंड के लिए यूज हो सकता है कि नहीं, इज इट अ चार्ज और इट इज अप्रोप्रिएशन, वो किस पे डेबिट होगा, अरे प्रॉफिट पे डिपेंड करता है कि नहीं. बट वो सब छोड़ो, पर अभी मैं इसे प्रेजेंट किधर करूँगी मेरे फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में. मैंने आपको मेरे पहले वाले वीडियो में बताया था कि फर्स्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग अकाउंट इज क्रिएटेड, देन ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट इज क्रिएटेड, देन P&L अकाउंट इज क्रिएटेड, देन P&L अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट इज क्रिएटेड, and then balance sheet is created. This is how the flow of our final account go, if you all remember. So since provision do not depend on existence of profit, so that means we'll be creating it at this stage, because P&L appropriation is created after we get a profit. So here these provisions are not dependent of occurrence of profit, so it will be debited to P&L account. So this P&L to provision account, it is first gets debited to P&L account, and second, this provision is either shown in two ways: either in liability side of balance sheet or as a deduction on asset side of balance sheet. Okay, so it will either be shown in the liability side of the balance sheet or as a deduction in asset side of the balance sheet. So let me just give you some examples, and also I'll tell you these examples are shown where in the balance sheets. Okay, so first we have provision for, this is not a conclusive example, it is an illustrative examples, means there exist more and more such examples, but I'm just giving few of them. For example, provision of doubtful debts. This is created for recording doubtful debtors. So it is shown as deduction in asset side of balance sheet under debtors. First, this is clear, provision for doubtful debts. Then we have provision for depreciation. It is shown as deduction in asset side of the balance sheet under PPE account. Tangible depreciation is reduction in the value of tangible assets, right? So PPE is basically tangible assets. Then we have provision for taxation. it is shown under liability side of balance sheet. It is not shown under any deduction to asset side in any asset balance. It is shown in the liability side of balance sheet. Then we have provision for legal claim case pending. It is also shown in the liability side of the balance sheet. So these are some of the examples at your level that you could take in for your consideration and understand the concept of provision. So this is the final understanding of the provision. I hope you all understood it in a crystal clear manner. And also, if at all you have any doubts, please, it's a humble request, let me know in my comments. I'll surely answer all of them. And just before that, let's conclude the whole session. So what is provision? Provision is the money kept aside for a specific purpose. Then is it mandatory to create provision? Yes, absolutely it is mandatory to create provision. Then can it be used in payment of dividend? No, it cannot be used in the payment of dividend. Second, is provision created only when there is a profit? Absolutely not. It is created irrespective we have profit or not. So where is it debited? As it is a charge, it is created irrespective we have profit or not. It is debited to P&L account and not P&L appropriation account. And then you must know that where are they shown? They are shown in either liability side of balance sheet or as a deduction to the asset account of balance sheets. Okay, you all got that? Chalo then, bye bye and enjoy your day.